Rassemblés ce matin pour nous souvenir que, il y a 104 ans, s'abattait autour de nous la fureur et l'horreur de la guerre. Tout au long de l'année 1915, environ 1 million de combattants ont été engagés dans des combats terribles, déterminés à défendre leur terre ou au contraire à s'en emparer. Près de la moitié de ces soldats de l'armée ottomane, de l'armée britannique et de l'Empire britannique et du corps expéditionnaire français d'Orient ont été tués ou blessés. La France a...
from the UK in order to preside over this service for the second year running. Patrick, thank you. I will now hand over to Commander Chris Morey for the first reading.
In Major General Hunter Weston's address to the troops on the eve of the landing at Helles, he said, "The eyes of the world are upon us, and your deeds will live in history. To us now is given an opportunity of avenging our friends and relatives who have fallen in France and Flanders. Our comrades there willingly gave their lives in thousands and tens of thousands for our king and country. And by their glorious courage and dogged tenacity, they defeated the invaders and broke the German offensive. We must also be prepared to suffer hardships, privations, thirst and heavy losses by bullets, by shells, by mines, by drowning.
If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed, a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam, a body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by the sons of home. And think, this heart, all evil shed away, a pulse in the internal mind, no less gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given. Her sights and sounds, dreams happy as her day, and laughter learned of friends, and gentleness in hearts at peace under an English heaven.
It is the morning of the 25th of April, 1915. Lieutenant Geoffrey May of the Border Regiment describes the landing of his battalion on X Beach. It must have been difficult to see for the Navy as the sun was rising. There was not a breath of wind, which was lucky, as any sort of swell would make matters difficult. On our right were 2 French battleships and a Russian cruiser with 4 big funnels, which we called the Packet of Woodbines. They joined in the bombardment. The din was colossal, and everything shook when the 12-inch guns fired. Near the battleships, at about 5:30, we saw strings of rowboats, oars tossed, towed by pinnaces, ready for the different beaches at the point S, W, and V. We landed on X Beach, about 1 mile around the northwest coast of the peninsula. South Wales borderers at a corresponding beach on the Dardanelles side. 2 miles or so north of us, the King's Own Scottish borderers landed, and about 10 miles or more north again, the Anzacs and a naval division carried out a feint landing further north again. At about 6 a.m, up came a minesweeper manned by the Navy. Our boats were swung out in case of emergency, and they fouled the wireless on the sweeper. I shouted to one of the crew, asking how we were getting on, and he replied, "They've landed." We packed on board as tight as we could, no sitting room, in full marching order. I shall never pack so many things in my pack again. It must have taken 3/4 of an hour to get us, the whole regiment, on board. The minesweeper got underway, and we started getting into rowboats at 9 a.m, and this took some time. Each boat, as it filled, was towed by a pinnace with a midshipman in charge. 1 or 2 bullets hit the minesweeper, but there were no casualties. About 100 yards from the shore, the pinnace cast off, and the naval men pulled for the shore. A few bullets fell round about, but nothing to speak of. We came to shore without mishap, and walked onto the beach on a narrow gangway. About half the battalion had landed and were sitting on the cliffside, which was not very steep. The sand beach was about 40 yards wide and 100 yards long. Everything seemed to be going without a hitch, and soon Inniskillings and ourselves were sitting comfortably on the cliff. May's father had a large collection of beetles, and as May landed, he saw an exotic beetle on the beach, which he put into a matchbox and later sent to his father. On the 28th of April, he was wounded in the thigh by a bullet and evacuated to Alexandria. On the 9th of June, he returned to his unit and on the 28th of June he was hit in the head by some shrapnel, which went through his helmet and gashed his head. He was again evacuated to Alexandria, where unfortunately he just missed seeing his younger brother Ralph, who was serving in the 1st 5th Highland Light Infantry. On the 12th of July, Geoffrey returned to his unit. On the same day, his brother was killed, and he is now commemorated on this memorial. On the 21st of August, Geoffrey was wounded again. On this occasion, he lost his left leg and returned to England, where he was awarded the Military Cross, married the daughter of a general, and became captain of invalids at the Royal Hospital, Chelsea. Geoffrey May's story may stand for all the servicemen whom we commemorate here today. Many of the British officers who fought here had recently studied the classics at school and were very familiar with the story of the Trojan War. As we know from their writings, many were thrilled to be fighting in their turn, in the territory where the heroes of Homer had clashed. In Homer's Iliad, the ancient Greek epic of the siege of Troy, we read powerful and timeless descriptions of courage, atrocity, confusion, and betrayal. The Islamic Republic of Pakistan. The Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. The Royal British Legion. Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Please be seated.